Hi guys, welcome back to College Code. Our topic today will be distribution. So, distribution, what happens to the drug after it goes through mouth, skin, and muscles, veins, and your every way possible into the systemic circulation. So, sorry, also meant topical. So, into the systemic circulation, what happens after all this is distribution. The systemic circulation flow and how it all happens. So slow it down if you want it. Now, so body generally has no drug, so it's basically a virgin. It has no drug in it, so it's nil. Now you take a drug, so it'll enter your body. There will be passive diffusion until an equilibrium is obtained between the blood and tissue levels of drug. Okay, so the drug should be in equal amounts in blood and the tissues as well. Now that is not as easy as it sounds. Distribution mainly deals with dilution of the drug, binding of the drug, and sequestration or accumulation of drug. So this is very important. First of all, when you take a drug, it is diluted in your blood plasma. So it enters your blood plasma and it enters into your body as one whole compartment, or it may enter your body as different compartments. So these different compartments are different body parts. Now, in case of considering your body as a whole one compartment, then V will be the apparent volume of distribution. So what is V? It is apparent volume of distribution, the volume that would accommodate all the drug in the body if the concentration throughout was the same as in plasma. So the formula is also given. Example, if we give 1000 mg of a drug IV, so it is available 100% in the blood. Now the plasma concentration when you check is 50 mg per liter. So what will be the apparent volume? So dose administered divided by plasma concentration. So that is 20 liters. The apparent volume is 20 liters. Now let us talk about the less fortunate lipid insoluble drugs which do not enter the cell. In these cases, the volume of distribution is approximately the same as the extracellular fluid. Now this is the condition of streptomycin and gentamicin. Now, highly lipid soluble drugs get initially distributed to organs with high blood flow like brain, heart, kidney. Ignore my drawing skills. Now, these are later on taken up by other tissues as well. Okay, so let's talk about redistribution. Now, redistribution is the process where the drug is transferred from highly vascular region to less vascular regions but more bulky tissues. So this will cause a drop in the plasma drug concentration. Now highly vascular region to less vascular region, that process is called redistribution. Anesthetic like thiopentone sodium is injected IV. Now it is terminated in few minutes due to redistribution. Starkets, that is highly lipid soluble drugs, cross blood-brain barrier and placenta. Now let us talk about binding of the drugs. Now binding drugs actually bind to the proteins present in the plasma. Plasma has albumin and alpha-1 acid glycoprotein. So these there are many other proteins as well which are present in plasma. Mainly acidic drugs bind to albumin and basic drugs bind to alpha-1 acid glycoprotein. Now what is binding? So there is bound drug and there is unbound drug. When the drug is bound to a protein, it is called as bound drug, and when the drug is not bound to a protein, it is called as unbound drug. Now a bound drug cannot produce any action, whereas an unbound drug is a free drug and it can produce action. It will produce a therapeutic response which is desired. Now the concentration of drug is also responsible for saturation. As the number of proteins is limited, the binding site may be saturated with an increase in concentration. So remember, binding sites may be saturated. The clinically significant implications of plasma protein binding are highly plasma protein bound drugs are largely restricted to vascular compartment because these drugs cannot cross any membranes except for paracellular spaces which are very large. So what happens is they are stuck in the vascular compartment and they have a very less volume of distribution, but they have a long duration of action. So, what do we know about bound drugs? Whenever a drug is bound, it cannot produce any action. It cannot produce any action. It cannot undergo metabolism. It cannot undergo excretion unless your liver or kidney think otherwise. So, it cannot be removed. Sequestration. So, what happens in sequestration is a small amount of drug is accumulated in specific organs by active transport, or it gets bound to specific tissue constituents because it is attracted to them. So, what happens is when these are attracted like that and accumulated, it causes unequal distribution, and this leads to a longer duration of action and large volume of distribution. So, there will be in the tissue for a very long time and may produce actual toxicity. So, let's look at the examples and organs which show drug sequestration. So your teeth attract tetracyclines, so tetracyclines accumulate there, and your kidney attracts digoxin, so digoxin is accumulated in kidneys, so it is noted nephrotoxin. So tetracyclines also attracted to liver, and digoxin is attracted to your heart.